students, good morning. Today we're going to present you the topic of a school dropout in Mexico. I'm your teacher, Mariana, and I'm here with my partner, Irlanda and Kenya, that we're going to present you this topic. So please pay a lot of attention and listen carefully the things we're going to explain. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask us, and please make sure to take notes during the presentation.
This is going to be as my class to learn about the school dropout causes and reasons, and also educational Mexican system.
Okay, so first of all, do you guys have an idea of what school dropout is? Or do you guys have a clue or imagine what it could be? If you don't, do not worry, because that's today's topic and we will be talking about it. So it refers to the removal of a student from an educational institution before the end of the stage he or she was studying. In other words, it means whenever a student decides, it could be for many reasons, to drop out of school, to leave school, or to not finish the stage he or she was gonna study. It could be a temporary way or a definite way. Most of the time, the people do not count the temporary ones because they will come back sooner or later. But well, school dropout is when they decide to just leave school and to quit studying. So first of all, Mexican educational system. This system is composed of 4 stages. The first one is the initial education. Then we have the basic education, the upper secondary education, and the higher education. In the basic education, we can find primary, elementary, and middle school, while in upper secondary, we find high school, and in higher education, we find university, where you could get your degrees. Basic education and upper secondary education are most of the time the obligatory ones, the ones that are mandatory by the government, but not do the students all the time complete this. Most of the time also, school dropout tends to happen when during 5th year of elementary, 2nd year of middle school, and 1st year of high school. Okay, also a little bit more about Mexico's educational system. Well, according to the constitutional 3rd article, every individual has the right to receive education, and no religion needs to be imparted inside a classroom. Even though, well, most of the time it's in public schools where teachers cannot relate education with religion. But for example, if you're in a Catholic school where the religion is part of it, in that case, then it's an exception. Also, it has to be free education with public schools, and sometimes they have a cost for books and things like that. But also some of the benefits that studying could bring you, not only personal, also social, economic, and cultural. Why economic? Well, because you get a better job and also a better salary, a higher one, and you help the country or the state you're living in with all of this. Now we want you guys to give your personal opinion. Please take a screenshot or a picture to this slide and answer the following questions on your notebook, and please send them at the end of the class. The first one is, do you think Mexico's education is fair or equal? Why or why not? And what would you do to improve it?
Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk about the possible reasons of dropout in Mexico. We know that dropout is not a problem that it started yesterday. It has a lot of history. Even my parents told me about how my family members couldn't finish their studies because of many reasons. So we're gonna talk about the most important ones. The first one that we can see is the lack of motivation or interest. The second one is the low household income, the behavior and learning problems, and also the bad school conditions. So the first one is the lack of motivation of interest. According to Marchesi and Bronfenbrenner, they created a theory and this graphic representation of all the aspects in society in an individual's life that affect the motivation and the interest in for another individual. So first, it is the microsystem that is just me, my thoughts, my believings, and then we have the mesosystem that it is our family or neighbor or institution like our school and our classmates. And then we have the ecosystem that is the television, the church, our extended family members, and also the local government. And at the end, we have the religious system, the social values, and the government. Though the last three systems do not shouldn't affect us because we cannot control the things that happen. But this is when we can see that the emotional education is very important because learning how these aspects affect you is gonna determine how motivated you are or the interest that you have or if you are gonna end up your studies. The second reason that we can see is the low household income. According to the INEGI, 14.2% of the students that drop out in recent years, it was because of economic reasons. So it says that for the quarterly expense of a family, it is 35,000 of pesos. So it's a lot of money for just 4 months, right? So we know that 141.7 is a minimum salary here in Mexico. So it is around 12,753 pesos. So it is not enough to cover those expenses. Yeah, you have in your family maybe the father, the mother, and maybe two kids that are around the same age. But it's still not enough for paying those the needs that a family may have.
Behavior problems and learning problems. Behavior problems represent a daily challenge for teacher since they impact both the teaching and learning process within the classroom as well as in other areas of the school. We have the classification of behavior problems that is hyperactivity, disruptive behavior, defiant negativism, and violent conduct. Then we have the important factors in behavior problems that are age, cognitive and emotional abilities, and family education that is like the parenting style. Learning problems are disorders that affect the ability to understand, to use spoken or written language, to do mathematical operations, to coordinate movements, and to make direct attention. These learning problems cause problems with understand what people say, with talk, read, to write, solve mathematical problems, and pay attention. Bad school conditions. Poor school conditions have an impact on student performance and learning. Studying in a dilapidated school with broken bathrooms, with broken furniture, with dirty cafeterias directly influences the poor academic performance of students who perceive dropout as a sign of disinterest in them and then to miss classes more.
I mean, we had to talk about the pandemic. The pandemic is an actual, like in an actual days reason for many dropouts around Mexico. We can say that out of 10 students, one left the school. If we see it just like that, it is not a lot of students that drop out, right? But when we talk about Mexico, it is around 5.2 million of students that did drop out from school. So according to my research, we can say these percentages. 26.6 because they drop out because the classes weren't functional. 25.3% because the parents were fired and didn't have the income to provide studies. And also the 21.9% because didn't have access to internet or a proper device to take the classes in. So even though it sounds very sad, we can manage, and the government did manage a lot of these reasons to provide studies to the students and do not interrupt the process, the learning process of them. Now, these reflective questions are for you to think into this topic. The first one is, do you think bullying could be another reason for a school dropout?
The second one is, what are some of the main problems of school dropout? The third one, we want you to write in your own words, what is school dropout?
And the last one is, do you think teachers influence the dropout rate of students?
So please answer these questions with a personal opinion and send them at the end of the class.
Okay, guys, now we have a short video for you guys.
So as long as you see it, we're gonna see around 1 minute for you to see how the information is presented. This video is in Spanish, so it can be more easier for you to understand the information. So let's hear it.
3 millones de estudiantes en México llevan un año sin pisar las aulas debido a la emergencia sanitaria por COVID-19. Un año con consecuencias como el abandono escolar y en el que niñas, niños y adolescentes están perdiendo una etapa importante de su desarrollo social. Y aunque ya se pone sobre la mesa la posibilidad de regresar a clases presenciales en algunos estados, todavía no hay nada concreto. ¿Cómo fue el cierre de escuelas? La declaratoria de emergencia en México fue a finales de marzo de 2020 y esto implicó la suspensión de actividades presenciales, incluidas las clases en todos los niveles educativos y en instituciones públicas y privadas. Pero antes de la declaratoria, la Secretaría de Educación Pública ya había tomado la decisión de adelantar y ampliar el periodo vacacional de Semana Santa, aunque no para acudir a sitios turísticos, pues de hecho muchos ya estaban cerrados.
Es que se van a suspender todas las actividades no esenciales, como lo indica la Secretaría de Salud. Entonces vamos a suspender todos los eventos escolares, todos los eventos que se realizan en los patios, los actos cívicos, honores, festivales, actividades deportivas, comunitarias, etcétera. El quinto punto se refiere a que...
Okay, any questions so far?
Okay, guys, now is activity time, and you are going to make a concept map in pairs. It is going to be based on the information that you already saw and with the notes that you already have.
Okay, so remember that we are gonna, of course, send you the link of the video for you to watch it like completely. And besides that concept map you're gonna do, we want you to make an essay with maybe with the presentation and the video, but also maybe doing some research. And this task is gonna be individual, so we want you to do the research and give us a conclusion and your own opinion of this topic. It is very intense and it's a big topic, but you can do it.
Okay, guys, so we have come to the end of the class. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys have any questions, you can contact us from WhatsApp or call us. Do not worry about that. So with this, we finish today. Thank you.
See you guys.